Welcome back, and if this is your first time watching, my name is Brandon and I sell men's clothing on eBay. This is day 24 of the What Sold series where I show you my daily eBay sales. Let's not waste any time, let's jump right into the sales. The first sale of the day is actually the best sale of the day. It's a pair of Lululemon ABC pants in a men's size 36. They sold in 1 week for full price $60 plus shipping. Sale number 2 was an ALO yoga shirt. It took 2 days to sell and it sold for a best offer of $15 plus shipping. It did have a couple little spots on it, or else it would have sold for about $5 or $10 more. Sale number 3 was the Hundreds jacket in a men's XL. It was kind of like this big chore style jacket. It took 4 months to sell and it sold for a best offer of $25 plus shipping. Sale number 4 was a Hurley button-up shirt. It took about 7 months to sell and it sold for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. I was actually kind of surprised that it took so long to sell and it sold for such little. It was new with tags and it did have a really nice like skull print all over it, which is usually pretty popular, but this one just took a little bit longer and didn't sell for as much as I thought. Sale number 5 was a pair of Travis Matthews golf pants. They sold in 23 days for a best offer of $22 plus shipping. Depending on the size, you can usually get up to about $30 for these, but these were a 30 by 30, kind of short, kind of small, so only got 22 bucks for them. Sale number 6 was a vintage Maui t-shirt. It took 17 days to sell and it sold for full price $20 plus shipping. I don't like buying too many of these basic vintage t-shirts. They just take too long to sell, but I figured that a Maui one would sell pretty quickly right now. Sale number 7 was a Rain Spooner Hawaiian shirt. It was a little bit different than most. It had like these flat pockets on the front. Not many of them have those. But anyways, it took a year to sell and it only sold for a best offer of $25 plus shipping. So not the most desirable, but still happy to get the sale. Sale number 8 was a Ruka button-down shirt. It did have that all over flower print, but it was in a size small. So it took 8 days to sell and it sold for a best offer of $10 plus shipping. I remember picking this up that it was $2.50 and I knew that it was only going to sell in the $10 to $15 range, but I also knew that it was going to be very quick because I've sold many of these shirts before. Sale number 9 was a vintage Eddie Bauer anorak jacket. This one was pretty sweet and it had like these multicolor strings. Anyways, it took 3 months to sell and it sold for a best offer of $30 plus shipping. Sale number 10 was a Polo Ralph Lauren chambray shirt. It took about a month and a half to sell and it sold for a best offer of $25 plus shipping. This one didn't have a pony on the front of it, but it was a unique item looking kind of like that denim look with the chambray, and it did have pockets on it, so it was still able to move quickly for a decent price. I think if it did have a pony on the front, it would probably add another $5 or $10 of value. Sale number 11, this is actually one of my favorite brands to sell because as long as it's a officially licensed Monster Energy item, it usually sells really quickly and for a decent price. This one wasn't any different. It took 3 days to sell and it sold for a full price of $25 plus shipping, and it was a thermal shirt. Sale number 12 was a Viella button-down shirt. It took 15 days to sell and it sold for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. I got about 10 of these from one thrift store probably 2 to 3 weeks ago now, and I've already sold off a few of them. That's probably the lowest that I'll be selling. The ones that don't have any flaws on them is 20 bucks, and then they will sell up to the full price of 30. Sale number 13 was a pair of Pendleton flannel pajamas. They took 8 months to sell and they sold for a best offer of $30 plus shipping. I was surprised they didn't sell a little bit quicker and for closer to the full price, but I guess that it was warmer months up until now, so a lot of people probably weren't looking for flannel pajamas, but they did have a really sweet southwestern print on them. Sale number 14 was another Rain Spooner Hawaiian shirt. This was one of the Dietrich Varese Rain Spooners, and it took 9 months to sell and it sold for a best offer of $30 plus shipping. This one did have a pretty good print on it, and it was Dietrich Varese, which is usually a more desirable one. So I'm kind of surprised that it took so long to sell. I kind of think that if I would have ended this listing and made it a little bit better and then relisted it, that it probably would have sold closer to $40 and sold quickly. So I do want to go back to some of the older rain spooners before I got as much knowledge as I have now, and make the listings a little bit better so they can sell a little bit quicker and for a little bit more. Sale number 15, I thought this sweatshirt was super cool. It was a Champion reverse weave, and it did have this like Aztec Southwestern print on it. Anyways, it took 14 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $45 plus shipping. Sale number 16 was a Nike golf polo. It took 8 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $10 plus shipping. It did have a golf course logo on it, and I don't think it was a very desirable golf course, so that's why it took so long and sold for so little. And sale number 17 of the last sale of the day was a Rolls-Royce car polo shirt. It took 2 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. I found 2 of these at the thrift store about a week ago, maybe less now, and they both sold super quickly. So keep an eye out for high-end car stuff. That's it for the sales. Let's go ahead and jump into those numbers. On September 24th, we sold 17 items for a total gross sales of $574.94, giving us an average sales price of $33.82. The selling costs are always inaccurate, so let me go ahead and show you guys the numbers here. These are the actual numbers. We had $185.62 in selling costs. The breakdown for that is $67.37 in eBay final value fees, $102.87 in shipping labels, and $15.38 in promoted listing fees. I did sell 8 of my items via promoted listings. Like I always say, I'm happy to pay the extra money for my promoted listing sales. I promote all my listings at 5%. Anyways, when we take away the selling costs and the taxes and fees collected by eBay from the gross sales, that gives us the net sales number of $363.57. We still need to take away our cost of goods, which is $175.35, giving us a total net profit of $184.22. This is about an average day. I'm happy to have average days as long as there's not too many below average days. So I'm happy with how today's sales went. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for day 25 of the What Sold series. Peace.